College was so different from what I could have ever expected. When I think about college, there were just so many ups and downs. Freshman year was an exciting time for obvious reasons. I was finally responsible for my entire schedule and life, but I felt like I had a difficult start to college. I had trouble finding my friends, my people, the kind of people that I felt like I could truly have meaningful conversations with. While the friend process was a process, I had many college experiences like going to SF at night, spontaneous trips, late night sleepovers, and just trying my best to meet so many people and keep in touch with all of them. I definitely struggled with the freshman 15 and just figuring out how to maintain a lifestyle that works for me. Freshman year was marked by the beginning of my college journey and realizing that the balance between work and play was going to be a tough one to find.
I've been watching from the sidelines. I got one hell of a view. I can't stand the way you flex like I don't mean a thing at all. I guess I need to accept that you're finally moving on. But you ain't gotta know about it, you so about it. Hanging with some girls I know out and I heard about them. Acting out, girl, I was so childish. I'm used to flying shit, girl, you once was my co-pilot. Ain't flown higher since you was mine, now I crash landed. Chanel branded shoes don't make up a damn difference. But so candid with you, told you friends ain't in the question. It's all or nothing, you chose nothing, now I'm feeling stranded. I felt abandoned, but I made you choose. And you had every right to flip me off and fade away. Who was I to think if shit went down then we would stay the same? I've been in and out relationships, commitment ain't my thing. I identify with you, I know you're not the one to blame. Fuck the self-pity, self-medicated shit. Wrote the same song 100 times on how I hate the bitch, but now I'm facing it. Calling names ain't worth a second of time. I put resentment in the past, I put the anger aside. I see it dancing like you're solo, really at the bar. See you putting in the work, got the mother guys and all.
Sophomore year. This was definitely the toughest year for me. Just something about sophomore year, maybe sophomore slump, but nothing was just as fresh or exciting anymore. I was proud of starting my own club and getting the opportunity to lead. I was glad that I finally picked my majors and had begun to figure out what I might want to do with my career. I was excited and honored to have multiple chances to travel for different conferences and opportunities. I probably traveled the most I ever have in college to so many new cities. I went to New York, Portland, Milwaukee, Chicago, Durham, and Raleigh. But this was also the year where I struggled. I struggled with academics. I struggled to find something that I was passionate about. I struggled with my health. I struggled to find my place and footing in a school as big as Berkeley. I struggled to find what I was good at, what I wanted to spend my time on, and what mattered to me. I felt like a very small fish barely hanging onto my wave in the ocean. Sophomore year was marked by the knowledge of knowing what Berkeley is, but feeling extremely lost and lonely.
Cause I guess I'm bound to see you in time. Yeah, I know that.
Junior year. Even though this was a year when life was uprooted by the pandemic, junior year was probably one of the better years of college for me. After spending a summer in North Carolina, which really made an impact on me, I came into this year with more purpose. I wanted to join new clubs, specifically more tech-oriented clubs. I was ready to make new friends and be a version of myself that I was proud of. I knew I wanted to prioritize things that I cared about, like sleep and health, prioritizing the balance between having fun and making memories, but also focusing on school and recruiting for a summer internship that I wanted. Junior year was marked by reprioritizing, adapting to new situations, and spending time in Taiwan. Senior year. I have so many thoughts here.
Cheers.
Sometimes I feel regret for not going out and making memories in the past few years before the pandemic, regret for not keeping in touch with as many friends. But I also think about how much time I've saved from not having to walk to the gym, to class, or office hours, or even just to meet up with friends for lunch. Zoom University has really helped me save those precious minutes, but I'm also not sure I can replace the face-to-face interaction and spontaneous hellos that you get while walking around on campus. I miss campus so much. Even though I was living just, 10 minutes off of campus, it wasn't really until I was so close to graduation that I finally came to appreciate the beauty of Berkeley campus. We might not have as many old Victorian buildings as other movie-esque American colleges, but there is so much character and jokes that revolve around every single building that we do have. I'll miss those small moments. Senior year was marked by acceptance, graduation, and new beginnings. Our graduation was 99% virtual. Instead, we were allowed to sign up for a 10-minute slot to walk across the stage with no audience, no family or friends in the theater to watch. While I was grateful for the chance to have some semblance of a normal graduation, this time was actually incredibly difficult for me. This entire year leading up to graduation, I tried to prepare myself. With family abroad, I knew that they would come to visit me exactly twice. Once when I moved in and once when I graduated. However, with the pandemic, traveling internationally would become incredibly difficult logistically and not super safe. I'd come home after the big moment of walking across the stage to an apartment filled with moving boxes. I cooked my leftover dinner and sat on the floor to eat off of a plate sitting on an old shoebox makeshift dining table. I felt privileged knowing that I would graduate without loans, but I didn't graduate top of my class. I didn't do anything special, so I wasn't even sure if my achievements were worth celebrating. It took gentle reminders from my closest friends to try and slowly realize that even if my family isn't here with me, that doesn't mean that my graduation milestone is meaningless. It's just that compared to my roommates and my peers, my support system just happens to be miles away.
Receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Data Science and Economics.
After 3 years of living in this apartment, it's time to move out.
After living in the same apartment, my first apartment, for 3 years, it was like slowly unpacking the memories in college as I cleaned, decluttered, and saved parts of my life. It was such a bittersweet moment being able to spend that time with my roommate, rethinking about all the random moments and things that were collected over the years while pondering about what the future might be like for both of us.
So I'm starting to sort through all the stationery, recycling, donate, trash. I made this list of areas that I'm going to try to clean in this order. Tuesday, which is the day that I'm leaving, will be like an entire apartment clean. So, gotta be packed up by then. Last day of packing, leaving tomorrow, and I am super exhausted, but look at the progress. It's pretty good.
I've been running out of things to say. Do you wanna get high with me, baby? I know the Uber's on its way. He gon' call you up like on the late day. You stressed out cause you working
We're eating
late.
lunch on the counter because there's nowhere to
Talking
sit.
shit about the boss you hate lately. You open the door, you ain't got nowhere to go. Cause it's a hell of a ride.
It's completely packed up and ready to go. All
Cause it's
these
a hell of
marks
a ride.
are just reminders of where my stuff has been.
Cause it's
And
a
how
hell
much
of a ride. It's a hell of a ride.
So much fun.
Over the east side. It's a hell of a ride. It's a hell of a ride. It's a hell of a ride. Over the east side. It's a hell of a ride.
In all of these photos, I'm smiling and I look happy like nothing's wrong. And yet, if you listen to the words I'm saying, you'll hear that not everything is that perfect. Something that I've definitely learned is that photos are not an accurate reflection of how you might actually feel inside. I also wanted to say these are all just my personal reflections of my college experience. It's so difficult to capture everything that happens over the course of 4 years, academically, socially, personally. There are just so many more aspects of college and myself than 12 minutes can ever tell. College was so different from what I could have ever expected. When I think about college, there were just so many ups and downs. But now, on to the next chapter of life.